Welcome to an ep12 again for another video. Sorry, kinda tired. Right now I'm giving you footage that I haven't showed you because, well, these are the yellow Pikmin, which I gave you the stats for the yellow Pikmin that I thought would be appropriate. Surprisingly, the yellow Pikmin and also the top is also going to be a score play that my sister actually said it would be pretty neat. She was going to be all the bad guys. Yellow Pikmin are very good in the first and the second game. She decided to take the yellow Wollywog on her team. Now what I'm doing is that I'm taking most of my reds and throwing them up while the Wollywog goes down. And the point goes to me. The ideal is that for every Pikmin she kills, which she's a blocker by the way, for every Pikmin she kills, I get a different one. So yet again, it's going to be me versus Corey Squad. If you want to keep track, then be ahead and be my guest. The next thing is that, well, I've already had too many Pikmin on the start to go this way. But it's completely and utterly fine since these Pikmin were kind of, well, only a practice run. This is kind of my first series as well, and in this first series, it's kind of, well, dull per se, because this is going to be my first actual commentary, and I know it says explanation, but it's just kind of hard. I confuse that name a lot. It's called the Bumbling Snitchbug. Bumbling Snitchbugs will just basically take your Pikmin and just throw it in the air. Throw them in the ground, that's pretty much it. It's kind of really annoying if you have a short amount of Pikmin. And they're really annoying when you play the first game because they can actually, if you have the right amount. There's a different picture of a bumbling Snitchbug, and sorry about that, I kinda actually kicked the wrong button. But the next thing is a fiery Bulblex. The fiery Bulblexes are the enemies that I kinda didn't expect what they were going to look like, per se. When I first played Pikmin 2, they can also hurt your captains, even with any type of armor or bonuses. So, fiery Bulblex that's a wall and attacker, I call it. The next thing is Lewis with his blue and whites, but I told you we couldn't, well, I only have 5? No, I only have a certain amount of blue whites because of how many they died in the beginning of the game. So it's going to take me a while before I can actually get them. I call the purple tanks because, well, they basically are. They can be used for virtually almost anything in the game, in the second game, except for being thrown very high. But they are very useful. They have multiple uses, especially the yellows in this game. Now, the next things are the whites. The whites are good for finding hidden treasures, in which they're very also useful if you want to get your treasures back in an order position. To me, I find them very useful. I find them as well as useful, but considerably how many buried treasures there are in this game, and consider how much you actually use them sometimes, it makes it like the game doesn't seem to make them as useful as much as the purples do. But then, yet again, purples are only found in dungeons, so you have to be careful as well if you're not a good aimer. That's a key thing in Pikmin. As long as you can aim, you're pretty much good at it. The next thing is, as you see on the top, it says recording. Well, I tried to record this as live as possible. If you could see, you had to double record it. That's kind of not the case anymore since the double recording's kind of stopped. Now, Pikmin AI is kind of interesting if you look at it, because every time you try to separate them, you see that each Pikmin tries to go in a certain line. Now, what I like to do is that when I use if you use the C stick or if you use the computer to separate them out, now when you use it, the C stick will automatically make them go out in a single file line. Then after that, the Pikmin will fall out directly towards what their group is. So for instance, when I fall them out right here, if I do, the red immediately goes on the other side of the majority. And then Louis says that I shouldn't have done this, but I should have at the same time. I'm going all the way back, but you shouldn't be able to do that because there's a bridge on the other side, which you'll see in a moment. That'll be crucial if I didn't do that. The next thing is that afterwards is there's also a dungeon there. I didn't go through the dungeon quite yet because I wanted to be able to give the people who haven't actually played this game or played the second one to understand what are the surroundings without going into a dungeon yet. That was my logic behind it. These are flying Sherwigs. Flying Sherwigs were kind of annoying. The reason why they're kind of annoying because they can actually heal while they fly. And as well, they can also... The only way that you can actually kill them while they're healing and flying is if you one-hit kill them from underneath. Now, if you saw in the background, there's only one Pikmin, and he about got killed. That's the key thing about Sherwigs. You may not know if there's a third one or a second one. Now, things in the first game that you didn't know about in the second game is that Pikmin are actually the only ones one Pikmin can actually hold one Sherwig. In the second game, they could be two Sherwigs. So as I'm getting the rest of the Pikmin to get over here, the next thing I was going to do was trying to switch. Excuse me. The next thing I was trying to do was switch over. And if you see over there, there's that bridge. That would have saved me a lot of time. But ending up not, because the bridge is also almost out, and I'm looking at the current time that I have. It is about 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the video. So this is where the next cutscene about comes. This is when you get the first introduced to basic spider wogs, I call them. And they contain the potions or berries that you need. It's kind of hard to understand, but they're really kind of useful, per se. If you guys remember the first place in the first game, Excuse me. This place wasn't actually covered in water. This place has become more flooded, as you can see here. So within this first game, you can already tell there's a dramatic effect to the environment. The environment has become more dense or more flooded per se. And the perplexing pool has either a bit more has shrunken the island or has caused more. There has been more rain, thus making the perplexing pool a more of a more of per se a more making a lake than a pool. The bubbling shearwigs, I find them annoying because if you can see over to the next place where I had those people building the bridges, the less Pikmin you have taking down a bridge, the longer it takes. But at the same time, the less amount, the more you can handle if you're not big into small groups. So this is probably, yeah, this is where I'm going to show the shearwigs. And the video is almost over, so I would like to say that if you like my videos, then share and post and comment on this. Or if I decide to do something else with this video, I can probably say that this video will be my first commentary, so I hope you guys may like it. If you don't, then well, that's life, so see ya.